If I wanted to grow a church in Wilson County, and my main objective was to get as many people in that building as possible, I would preach the gospel of Donald Trump. I would forsake the gospel of Christ. Well, I am a local Cumberland Presbyterian minister in the Wilson County area here. My thoughts today, I will say as a prerequisite, do not represent my whole denomination, do not represent everybody in my church. That's the beautiful thing about church, is it's a shared space. But the party that we have today is not my mama's Republican Party. It has been taken over, it seems, by an extreme wing, the MAGA wing, which uses Jesus for the name of Jesus for the sake of power, but has no intent of actually playing out what Jesus taught when it came to taking care of the poor, when it came to including people of all stripes and backgrounds into community. I'm being told by conservative pastors that the tail is wagging the dog in these churches, that some of these pastors can't even preach on helping the poor anymore without being accused of being woke. And that's absurd. And that's not the way of Jesus. These people that think helping the poor, helping the immigrant is woke, they need to find a new religion, because Christianity ain't the one for them. When I see the teachings of Jesus being played out locally in public policy, what I'm seeing is that the Wilson County Democrats and the Tennessee Democratic Party are supporting things like no taxation on groceries to help the poor. Meanwhile, the Republicans shoot that down, right, and give tax cuts to corporations. Now, when Jesus said the first will be last and the last shall be first, I don't know how that corresponds to his teachings. When Jesus said, blessed are the poor, for they shall inherit the earth. But yet it seems that the Republican Party is communicating, blessed are the billionaires, for they shall inherit the earth. This seems very contradictory. Antichrist, in a sense. I'm very clear. Christian nationalism is a false teaching. The idea that Christians should seek to conquer their neighbor by conquering the government. What I see with Jesus is he's always protecting people from being encroached upon by religious law that would seek to dehumanize them, cast them aside, and disenfranchise them. I don't see that happening today with the Democrats, but I do see that happening with Republican policy. I've seen within Wilson County what I would call these bastions for Republican politics go on full campaigns, have Sundays fully campaigning for the current administration leading up to the election. And I think the reason for that has to do probably with donors and tithing. I just saw that the Wilson County Republican Party is going to have Matt Gaetz here to speak in Lebanon. And their blurb that they had on their advertisement for this is, a man who stands up for conservative family values. Now tell me how a man who is just being investigated by Congress for potentially there being evidence that he had sex with a minor, he stands up for family values. It's not my family values. The family values I see coming from the Wilson County Democratic Party in terms of local politics, who do care about what it looks like to live day to day in the life of just the common person, you and I. What it looks like is there's no public policy that's actually supporting, within Tennessee, coming from the Republicans, just your common person like you and I. Or those amongst us who are trying to get by, who live in the trailer park down the road. And not to mention the immigrants, who Jesus says, welcome the stranger. The Bible tells us to welcome the stranger as one of your own. I think that some of their misconceptions is that whoever can judge their neighbor the loudest, their neighbor's lifestyle the loudest, or whatever have you, is the most faithful. What I see with Jesus is he's not someone that reduces space. He's not someone who's exclusive. He's someone who's inclusive. He invites people to the table